My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
You would be standing up for it too. But the fact that you can feed and fall into evil and then wonder why you can't look in the mirror. If you have children, wonder why there's even a crumb of something dangerous.
Wait, what happened to that alleged adopted white daughter of Diddy? She was all up in the news when the Diddy trial was at its peak, and now Ally Carter has brought major attention to it all after she exposed major details about what happens to these so-called adopted daughters and wards of celebs. And what happened to Diddy's adopted white daughter, Ava Baldwin, might start making sense. So, according to the popular story, the last time Ava's biological dad, David Harper, laid eyes on her, she was only 6 years old. And apparently he had zero clue Diddy was even in the picture until that infamous video dropped of Diddy introducing her as his adopted daughter. Now, word on the street is this girl was taken off to some undisclosed location to work. And if that wasn't bad enough already, Jaguar Wright jumped into the conversation amid all these allegations swirling around. And according to her, Ava is still out there, alive, but being heavily monitored. And not even the feds have been able to pin down her location. Here's where it gets even more disturbing. Before all of this allegedly went down, Diddy was actually bringing Ava around his own daughters. There are videos and photos of her hanging out with the twins, and from what you can see, they actually got pretty close. Nobody can really explain why he would do that, given what he allegedly had planned for her. But that's exactly what makes this whole thing so unsettling. And let's not forget, this man reportedly had feds on his payroll, so an investigation was never really a threat to him.
Is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him in interviews, hanging out with Diddy's daughter.
Rumor has it was actually Ava's mother, Catherine, who handed her over. David had no idea any of this was happening, because the last he knew, Ava was still with Catherine. So imagine his shock when he turns on the news and sees his daughter being introduced as Diddy's adopted child. The man was completely blindsided. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same Ava, but that is what is being said on the internet. According to reports, Ava was reported missing back in 2015. After several failed attempts to reach Catherine, authorities eventually contacted David. Ava hadn't shown up to school in over 3 weeks, and Catherine hadn't bothered to contact a school once to explain her absence. At first, the school wasn't entirely sure something was actually wrong, but after speaking with David, it became obvious that this wasn't a normal situation. David then went to the San Antonio police to file a missing persons report. When we sent the police out to the location of the last address we had, it turned out to be an empty lot. And that's when we figured something is going on here. Now, for anyone wondering why David didn't even know his daughter was missing until 3 weeks had already passed, it's because Ava and Catherine were living in San Antonio while he was all the way out in Oklahoma. Their relationship after Ava was born was beyond messy, and Catherine made it her mission to keep him out of the picture, even going as far as dropping over $45,000 in legal fees just to fight him over custody. CPS actually tried to remove Ava from Catherine's care after a video went viral showing Catherine doing something very crazy while Ava was lying in the bed right behind her. CPS reached out to David after seeing that footage and told him they'd help him get custody if he could help them track Catherine down. But Catherine caught wind of the plan and just started bouncing from state to dodge them. She'd just jump counties. She'd get in trouble in one county and just move to another county.
Okay, he just helping out a nice little white girl that needed a family, okay? Okay, come on y'all. Y'all smarter than this. Y'all smarter than this.
They eventually caught up to her though, and David was granted partial custody. That was actually the first real time he ever got to spend with his daughter, and apparently, Ava didn't even know she had a father until that point. She did not know she had a father. She was in awe that she even had a father. I was kept a secret from her, I guess. The reason people are so convinced that this Ava is the same one Diddy adopted is that the timelines line up. And honestly, the resemblance is hard to argue with. And if you remember, it came out during the indictment that Diddy was actively involved in transferring people.
That's her. Here's a picture of her that her parents took. It's one of the last photos. Now, take note of her long forehead, her shortened chin, the jaw structure, the teeth, the eyebrows, the eyes, the eye color, the cheekbones, and ears. And she just also happens to be the exact right age.
First, This office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be.
After that video of Diddy and Ava went viral, and people started connecting the dots, David came forward and basically confirmed that he believes the girl in that video is his daughter. He said some powerful people know exactly where Ava is, but are deliberately keeping that information buried so they can continue using her however they see fit.
Somebody out there that knows where she's at. Katie did not get out of San Antonio by herself. We believe she had help. We know that they are alive.
Really deep similarities. And if you go watch the whole video, Ava actually claimed that, he just randomly found her on the street, which is...
Catherine's older daughter, who was raised by a foster family, also came out and said she believes both Catherine and Ava were taken against their will. David has said in interviews that he holds on to the belief that Ava is still alive, and that he prays she's safe wherever she is. You ask me if she's still alive. Sometimes I have my doubts. I'll be honest with you. But when you ask me, I answer with confidence because I believe that God is true to his word, that he said he would watch over her, that he would protect her, that he would keep her safe, and that he would bring her home one day. And what's wild is that to this day, nobody knows where Catherine or Ava are. Not even law enforcement has been able to track them down. And people are starting to question whether that's because they genuinely can't find them or because someone paid them to look the other way. And honestly, given that Diddy's indictment confirmed he had feds on his payroll, that theory isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. And just when we thought things couldn't get any messier, Ali Carter also stepped into the chat and made things worse for Diddy by exposing major details about what he did to Ava. You see, Ali went through something very similar to what Ava went through, but the difference is, Ali went through it behind the scenes, while Ava's was publicly documented, all the way from public files to Diddy's own social media.
And I don't know if they even got through all of those witnesses, but Maureen Comey is the prosecutor of this case, in New York City. And she never asked about... And there's so many people who wanted me to be a witness on this trial, and I want to explain jurisdiction. I know some people don't understand jurisdiction.
She also flat out accused the prosecutors of helping Diddy slide out of those charges. According to her, this whole trial was never really about justice. It was a public humiliation ritual designed to drag his name through the mud and then quietly sweep everything under the rug. She also claims the feds knew about Diddy's behavior all the way back in the early 2000s and did absolutely nothing until Cassie finally blew the whistle.
Now, when you look at the corruption, the FBI covered it up for how long? This case was back in 2000, early 2000, right? So let's talk about who's guilty here. The DOJ released a video that at first everybody said they couldn't find a video of Cassie Ventura being... They couldn't find it, it didn't exist. You saw one clip, and then you saw DOJ release another clip to the news. So the DOJ had that clip to begin with. So the people who are telling you that they don't have the Epstein file, they're full of shit. What other way do you want me to explain that? They're lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit, it's bullshit, bullshit. Because they told you the same thing. And now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. They told you they just had a little bit of a video and then it got released. That's on the DOJ. They lied to you. They told you that nothing happened, that this man, Sean Combs, was just this rap mogul that everybody loved. No, he couldn't have hurt nobody. He couldn't have did anything. And then all this stuff came out. Well, he did that. But yeah, he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else came out. Okay, well, maybe he did that too. But he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else comes out. How many people did you hear say, I left a party early? I knew about abuse. I knew about children being there. I knew about him beating the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early. So guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that she was being abused? I knew that she was wrong. I knew what he was doing, but I'm just now speaking about it. Guilty. Coward. How many maids did it take to clean up a penthouse suite? Know that there was blood and glass everywhere, but they kept their mouth shut because they got paid. Guilty. So we're not talking, let's go back down to the bottom. The hotel manager that you guys never seen his face at first of this hotel, he heard the beat, He heard the screaming. He knew what was going on. He knew that Sean Combs was in there. He knew that he had other girls with him. He knew what was going on. He had the footage. He talked to the security. That hotel manager is who took that footage from the security and said, okay, hand me some money or help me be quiet. I'm going to shut the hell up. You did not hear anything from that hotel manager until now. But they told you, that hotel manager, if you would have went back then, they would have told you, no, we don't know anything. Cover up. Guilty. The security that were on shift that night, that knew about this footage, that knew he dragged her down the hallway, that knew he kicked her in the back and all over the place. The hotel security that knew about that, they looked away. They got paid off. Guilty. How many ways now the FBI that have had all of this information for a really long time looked away from it as well. Guilty.
Now, while Allie was going off about all this, Jaguar Wright also entered the chat and supported the claims Allie made by accusing Diddy of using Ava. She said his whole music career was just a front, and that Ava is one of many he allegedly purchased from negligent parents.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex worker. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds of. He's a piece.
Too much money.
I feel bad.
You know it's serious when both Jaguar and Allie Carter are coming out to speak out. As we speak, the whereabouts of Ava is still a mystery. But with all the recent developments in her case, the police might finally start looking into it again. As usual, people had their thoughts like this person who said, "Where is she? She, Diddy, and his family should be charged because not saying or being involved is just as guilty. How come the authorities don't question Diddy about her whereabouts? Missing person? As an adult or child?" I often ask that question. Yes, the daughters and sons know something. Trust the daughters are not innocent, nor the sons. If nothing bad happens to her and she is okay, you would think she came out by now. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Allie exposing all this? And do you really think Ava was trapped? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.